Hello, everyone. Okay, so everybody's been talking about Dall-E 3. I've seen some renders of it before. I've mentioned in a previous video. And believe me when I say I'm excited to see how it comes out. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And of course, I see a lot of these comparisons. And this one kind of caught my eyes from Data Economy. And it did a comparison of Dall-E versus Midjourney. Now, I don't think Dall-E 3 is not really open yet. It'll come out next month, October 2023. And Midjourney, I kind of used once and I like it. It's beautiful, but I'm not fond of the whole type imaginative Discord thing. I kind of like, that's what kind of drew me to Leonardo. It's got a platform. I can kind of do stuff, even though it's kind of public in some places and I can make it private whenever I need to. I kind of like having my own space to do something instead of having a shared space to create an idea and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a look at each of these 8 prompts. There are 8 prompts that they used to compare Dall-E and Midjourney. And I'm going to take a look at how each one of them compares to Leonardo and Ideogram. Ideogram is actually pretty good. I did a video of it. I'm going to put in a link to that video, but I did a video of it and it's really good. It's getting better, but it's at this point really good at text. So if you're interested in having your AI images have text, check out Ideogram. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at how these 8 prompts work. Now, first of all, we have the first one, which is rounding the universe. This one is the Midjourney, and this one is the Dall-E. Now, this is an absolutely gorgeous image. It's very ethereal. I did a Tree of Life image a while back, and this gives me those same vibes of just being incredibly just dreamlike, ethereal, otherworldly, gorgeous, all that stuff. Now, of course, the text is not that great, but never thought that Midjourney would be good at text anyway. So I'll be interested to find out how that works. Now, when we go back, okay, so now let's take a look at Dall-E 3's interpretation of this image. Wow, it is unbelievably gorgeous. It's very literal. Let's put it that way. It's very literal. And as you can see right here, find the universe within you. That is the best rendering with an image I have seen. It really is excellent. And I do love the idea of the heart containing the heart, and all like those vessels have become like tree branches, and how it's got the universe within the heart and all those planets. It is a stunning image. So I am looking forward to seeing how Ideogram and Leonardo interpret this. Oh my. Okay, these are great. One thing I love about this picture is got like 2 people in here holding their hands. It is beautiful. I don't see the writing on here because I did, I don't expect Leonardo to actually do anything as far as writing is concerned. But it is still such an amazing image. This one, it's a bit like the Dall-E one, it's a little literal, but still, look at this. It's kind of got like a little flower in here, or at least a plant of some sort, and then with the sun coming through it, it just gives it that wispy look. Give it an amazing, it's an amazing touch. I do like the valves of the heart here look like stained glass. It just looks like an amazingly beautiful blown glass image, or actually a piece of blown glass. It's beautiful. Definitely loved the Dall-E, Midjourney, and Leonardo iterations. So let's see how this works here. All right, looks like all 4 looking absolutely beautiful. So far, it's not finished processing. Oh, nice. This one looks very whimsical. It just looks gorgeous. Yeah, it looks very, there's an anime, like an animation where you can just like, I can't remember, I think it might be Mucha. Artistic drawing quality to it. It is beautiful. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, this one is definitely a bit more literal. Still beautiful, very angular in its interpretation. Yeah, this one is really just, these all remind me of the poster art. But I like this one. It's got the sun, there's like a maybe sunset, maybe sunrise coming, and it's just, it is really, it's definitely more figurative, which is, I think, what the intention of the prompt was. Still a beautiful rendition, a beautiful render. And then finally, very colorful. The color for this one just kind of really popped. The blue greens and the oranges and the yellows and the whites and the dark. I think this is very colorful. I think a lot more so than the other ones. So I think these are really good renditions. I'm very pleased with them. Really good job. Okay, now we're going to go down to the second. Okay, the modern architectural. This one is the Dall-E 3 one. Let's take a look and see how that goes. Oh wow, I love the clean lines, and it's very, I love the glacial look of the water. Yeah, I've definitely seen some houses like this. I don't know if I'd ever live like that in those houses, but if you're having this kind of view on a daily basis and you can afford it, I'd live anywhere, I guess. But this is a beautiful, clean, very angular rendering of the prompt, and that's Dall-E. Now let's take a look at the Midjourney. Now look at this. It's actually, I love the design of it. It's not that one is better than the other, it's that the designs are just different. While the other one was a multi-tier design, while the other one was a multi-tier design, this one is by far, this is a two-tier design. And I love the details of this. Oh my gosh, and of course, the water looks so calm and peaceful. And this looks like just like a living area, dining room. I would definitely live in this one more than the other one. But anyway, still beautiful render. So now let's take a look at Leonardo and Ideogram. Okay. Alright, this looks, yeah, it's very compartmentalized building. Down here, it's like got a little conference room, but it's still really nice. I love the curves of the architecture here. Very vast space and wide more than high. It's a nice rendering. Now let's take a look at this one. Now this one is really beautiful. 3 stories, 4 actually. Like an office building. Because it's got like little, it looks like an office building more than anything else, but it is still an absolutely stunning render. I love the details of the grass. And in this one, you can see that the sea looks a little bit more, it's less glacial and more like it's ebbing and flowing, on the sand. It's beautiful. It looks more alive to me than some of the other renders. Because I think when you looked at the Dall-E one and the Midjourney, the water is very glacial, whereas this one you can see the waves. So there's more character to the water. And the building itself, I like it. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it looks more like an office building, but it's still beautiful. Now let's take a look at what Ideogram came up. Oh, wow. Definitely like this one. I don't know if I'd live here. It looks a little bit just over the edge. but I love the ripples in the sea, the far out parts of the sea. The cantilevering part, I would feel weird, but of course it's designed to be stable. In my mind, I just think I'd be ready to fall over. It's still beautiful. This one is very colorful. There's an angular, there's a very severe line to the edges here. Particularly up here, I think it's very, I can see it, it's very dark. Again, it looks, I see the multicolors of the sea. You have the darkness and the lightness, so it's really great with that contrast. Inside is very bright. It looks like it's kind of on fire-ish. Very bright light in here. Still a beautiful rendering for this one. Yeah, this one looks it looks very much simpler than the other ones. I love the ripples in the sea. And it looks pretty stable, so I'm glad for that. You know, it just looks like I said, it's very simple. I love the contrast, the colors here of these foliage, of these bushes. You know, some light and dark. Then you have the horizon. You know, again, the inside looks really a little bit too bright for what this, like the sun is actually inside the building. Or maybe the sun could be on this side, but I doubt it. I think the sun might be on the side. Either way, it's still a beautiful rendering, but I question this part where it looks like there's actual sun in the building. Finally! Oh, this one put in this pool. Nice! I love the luxury of it. Again, looks solid, very simple. The sea is not, there's not much detail here. It's more of like a foreground picture. Background's kind of blurred. Again, the inside's very bright, but this pool here looks very inviting, especially since it's kind of hot here right now. So yes, I love it. I like this one. So Ideogram really did a great job with these. I am totally impressed. Looking forward to the next ones. Now the third render is potatoes. And I saw this actual in the beginning of the piece, and I said, this is absolutely adorable. So basically it's Potato Kingdom. So let's take a look at what Midjourney has to say. I can tell right now I kind of am fascinated with this concept here. First of all, these potatoes look like they're yarn art. I don't know if that is, or maybe potato fiber art. You know, they all kind of have that weird look, and then there's one weird spud right here, but it is a really interesting rendering. The king looks pretty cool, sitting in his chair with potatoes. I like the interpretation of it. It's very cute. It's something that's got like a diorama look. So I like this one for sure. Now let's take a look at what Dall-E came up with. Dall-E looks like it just kind of did a little bit more literally. It's got like a potato, and then you got little potato faces. You know, this is kind of like a, you know, you can create this where you have like a little spud and you kind of put something like maybe a clothes in the face of it. This is what it kind of looks like. And I have to say that while they're both different interpretations, I kind of like the first one better. I think that there's just a little bit more to this one, the Midjourney one, than there is to that. But now let's see how everything looks in Leonardo and Ideogram. Thanks so much for your time. If you could like this video, if you find it useful, it'll help me to figure out what kind of content you want to see. And then there's the YouTube algorithm thing. Yep, we all know how that goes. So thanks for your time, and let's get back to it. Oh my goodness. I have to laugh because, of course, on top of Potato Kings, I have, you know, cats. I think it's this is a total fail, but it's one of the best fails I've ever seen. This is an absolutely beautiful fail. What looked like cats with crowns among potatoes. I don't know how Leonardo did this, but I give him points for creativity. This one is cute. Oh, wow. Look at that. It looks like what the Dall-E one came up with, which was, you have the buttons in the eyes and everything, but these faces have a lot more character to them than the Dall-E one, in my opinion. And I love the crown. So it's just a bunch of kings, and just along with some other spuds sitting on their what are their thrones, whatever. It looks cute. I think I would definitely give Midjourney the win on this one. If since we're comparing them, I would say that Midjourney has I like the Midjourney one a lot more, but this is still pretty good. We still have to take a look at what Ideogram has come up with. Oh, this is cute. Potato Kings. Oh, wow. This one looks... Honestly, this is a very worried Potato King. Hope everything's okay. But the spuds are all over the place. They're flying. This looks... I love the character of the picture. It just looks adorable. Okay, this is... Again, looks like he's talking, and this looks kind of like a claymation type of rendering. I like it. I like it a lot. It's cute. I like the characters of these renderers. Okay, apparently we're seeing just potatoes with something on them, not seeing much personality here. So this one's an okay render. Still pretty good though. This one looks cute. Oh wow. Yeah, some of these, of course, they look, oddly shaped, and not all potatoes look the same. So, but this is still a really good render. Like I said, I love the personalities that are being shown here. Not quite sure what's going on with this one, but I'm all for differences. This is cool. Love the clouds and the landscape. I think this would probably pass for one of those VeggieTales, one of those VeggieTales cartoons. That was my first guess. Okay, next up is the Porcelain Lady. I recall seeing this picture. This was one of the renders I had initially seen from when they were talking about releasing the next version of Dall-E, and I thought it was absolutely stunning. So let's go over to the Midjourney one first. This, I love. Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. It looks very tragic, and I am completely amazed by it. The details of the hair, for one thing. I mean, you can see every strand, and I love the way it's kind of laid out. And she looks like she's become this wash of paint and color. I think this is a stunning portrayal of the prompt of the Porcelain Lady. Now this one is the Dall-E 3 one, and I think this is equally as stunning in a different way. I mean, she's basically she's put together in these pieces, and she's covered up in, she looks worn but still beautiful, worn, weathered, but she's still gorgeous. And I love how the hair looks like it's porcelain as well. It looks alive and looks luscious, but it looks very porcelain and stony. Still a beautiful interpretation. So now I would love to see in Leonardo and in Ideogram. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. I'm stunned. Yeah, it looks very ethereal. One thing I am going to do, and I have this idea. Hold on a second. I'm going to just take a look at these. I love the way gold and everything just wraps around. Stunning. That looks like a beautiful, just artistic photo. This looks like this looks like she's got an incredible veil or something, and everything's blowing at her, and it's just I love this. It's a beautiful interpretation. It's not, it looks more like it's fabric than porcelain, but I'm going to try something by adding element to this. I haven't checked it out. This is one of the latest features, and there is kind of a stone one in here. I'm going to try this one and confirm that as an element and see if maybe it would change the photo to see how this photo came out. Go ahead and do this one more time. Blackouts are all too common here in Jamaica. That's why I decided to invest in solar energy with Bluetti. They had portable solar kits with foldable panels that were easy to store and use. My research told me that Bluetti's solar panels were really good at converting the sun's rays into watts, while the batteries wouldn't just drain down quickly. That's important to me because I need to keep my lights on and my laptop charged. It's not easy living in a place where low power damages your appliances and power outages spoil your food. I am so grateful for my Bluetti solar kit. If you're looking for a flexible solar power solution to use once in a while or all the time, click the link below to check if Bluetti is right for you. Oh, wow. Okay, still a stunning, I love, it's kind of like it's the elements I use called the ivory and gold. And it's definitely got, what's in these elements in the picture of ivory and gold. You can see the gold shimmering hair. And her dress looks very stone-like. Her skin is beautiful. And it does have that shimmer of the perfect porcelain look. That porcelain sheen of it. So her skin does look like it is kind of stone-like in its luminescence. This one is absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, got an anomaly here, but that's understandable. Ivory and gold. Yeah, I love the picture here. Granted, I have to give it up to Dall-E and to Midjourney on this one if we're comparing them and everything. I do think they were more faithful to the, to the prompt. But still, these, apart from the anomaly here, these are still absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous images. Yeah, you can clean that up in Canvas, no problem. So this one is really cool as well. So let's take a look at how Ideogram interpreted this prompt. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, there's some anomalies here. And she's a ballerina, which I don't think is, that's not a part of the prompt. However, despite the anomalies, this is still a stunning render. It looks like an illustration. And it can be easily fixed with this. It's not even a problem. I could probably go into Leonardo and just fix that very quickly. But I love the way the hair just flips up in this render, and she's looking like she's just, like her dress is now discs of really coarse edge porcelain or coarse edge stone. Her coloring is gorgeous. I love the way her arms look. It's just, I like it. I like it a lot. This looks like an artist rendering, maybe even, dare I say, Picasso. She's dancing, it's just hairs all over, and yeah, it looks like, like it could be a high relief painting. And these represent, I guess, the shards and the pieces, and she's just dancing. Beautiful. Oh, I love the figure. I love the mood of this one. Figurative, a bit sad, maybe introspective, regretful. Yeah, this definitely has some character to it. I love the way it comes out. It's painted. So far, I'm impressed with Ideogram's interpretation of this prompt. This one, she's just letting it all come to her. Love it. I think all of these have their own style, and I like the way that Ideogram has interpreted this. You know, to my eye, I love the initial ones from Dall-E and Midjourney. Or these, all of them have a very strong representation. I like them. This prompt is Let's Dance, and it has to do with 2D animation, which will give me an idea of what fine-tuned model I will need to use for Leonardo. Of folk music band composed of anthropomorphic autumn leaves. Now, I can tell you right now, I'm looking at Midjourney, and I love the feel of it already. Look at it. Okay, these guys look perennially surprised. First of all, they more look scared and nervous. But I love the orange. It's pumpkin spice. I know everybody's gone crazy about that, but it's giving that autumn feel and the autumn look. It's not really anthropomorphized autumn leaves. It just looks like a banjo band just in the middle of a forest covered with the floors covered in autumn leaves. But still a beautiful picture on its own. Now, as far as Dall-E 3 is concerned, yeah, they seem to follow the prompt a bit more. Excuse me. They follow the prompt a little bit more, and this looks really cute. I mean, can you imagine a bunch of autumn leaves? One is on a cello, and you have a band. I mean, you have a full band here. I wonder, this feels really good. They look like they're about to sit there and they're happy. They're about to play some really good music, and as the prompt says, they are anthropomorphized autumn leaves. So Midjourney definitely followed the prompt a lot closer. I'm sorry, yeah, Dall-E 3, I think it was. Dall-E followed the prompt a lot closer than Midjourney, but still the Midjourney one is beautiful in its own right. Now let's take a look at Leonardo and Ideogram. When you live in a rural area, getting the internet can be a challenge. For those of us who live outside the US, it also can be a nightmare. That's why I appreciate my Alcatel Link Zone 2. It's a portable Wi-Fi hotspot, which means you can take it with you wherever and still get good internet. I live in the gorgeous mountains surrounded by trees, which means that my internet signal can get spotty at times. This helps. On top of that, the battery life is also pretty good. It charges quickly, and I can use it all day. So if you're in an area where catching a strong signal is tough, or catching any signal is tough, check out the Link Zone 2 and see if it can work for you. Link in the description. Okay, so now for this one, I'm going to be using, I'm going to actually get out of Photoreal. I'm going to be using 3D animation style, because I wanted to see how it would look regularly. So let's go ahead and switch out these. I'm going to go into 3D animation and generate a 2D folk music band. Okay. Looks pretty good. I love this right here. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. I don't know, maybe this person went off the bathroom. But this is pretty cool here. It's not the leaves, of course. But I still love this right here. Oh my god, these are gorgeous though. Now, of course, they're not anthropomorphized leaves, as the prompt specified. So in that case, I guess, I think it was Dall-E that would be the winner there. But still, this is a pretty great interpretation of the prompt. Beautiful interpretation of the prompt. Oh wow, already it's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at these individually. Okay, again, there's an anomaly here. I can see it, but it's still really good. And I love the color scheme. It's very bright. Even though it's supposed to be at night, it's still so bright, so beautiful. This one is more along the lines of, I think, what the prompt wanted. The anthropomorphization of autumn leaves playing is kind of rough. But you can work with it. It's really good. This is like an illustration. Like an artist illustration of the same thing. And it's somebody, and these guys are wearing, they're wearing leaves and stuff like that. But still, it's a beautiful render. I love the coloring of it. It's very clean. The edges are defined. Love it. Okay, this is kind of like a bit of like a Raggedy Raggedy Ann or Andy type of situation where these guys look like, I guess fabric figures playing the guitar. And I really like this rendering too. Of course, all of these have anomalies and you can really work with them, but this is actually pretty good. I don't think it's as bright as the others, but it's still got a really good feel to it. So far, I think Ideogram did a great job with these. Next is a chair. Basically, it's a lychee-inspired spherical chair. And it's got like a tropical background. Let's take a look at this first one, which, let's see. I love the colors of it. It's got that very delicate macrame to these images right here, to these tropical fruits. And it looks just, I love how the pink of the flower kind of reflects the pink in here. And it's just a beautiful, comfy looking throne, personally. I would definitely love to sit in something like that for a few hours with a good book. Okay, now let's take a look at the Dall-E 3 interpretation of this prompt. Again, very literal. It does take that whole thing and it does the lychee outside and then a nice cushy inside. Looks very cottony. And then you have what I think would probably be some greenish lychee. It's not very diverse in its tropical fruit background. But again, it's very literal. It did what it was asked to do. And I still think it's a beautiful rendering. I'll stick Leonardo and Ideogram have to say about it. Okay, wow, I like that first one, so it looks good, but that first one, let's take a look at it. It definitely has the lychee outside, like the fruit on the outside, and then the inside is like a nice, cushy, soft, comfortable space. And then, of course, these lanterns here, like, it looked like paper mache lanterns. They're actually hanging around. It's beautiful. This one, it looks like something hanging from the roof or from the ceiling. I like the trees in the background. That pink back really makes those tropical trees pop. Beautiful. Okay, this one looks like just a regular. It looks like a regular chair. It's still gorgeous, and I love the look. Like the inside of it. It's very, comfy again. We have the plain wallpaper and then the plants that give the environment a tropical feel. And this one, I think it's an odd shape. What I do like is I do see it's an odd shape and it's comfortable. It's like egg kind of shape. I do like that the back looks the wallpaper is nice and it's got some texture to it, and it gives the plants a little bit more pep. So I like this one too, but I think if I'm looking at this from the perspective of the prompt, the first one kind of got my attention, but still, this is beautiful. All of them look beautiful. Now let's see what Ideogram can do. Okay, this is pretty interesting. This looks like this a dessert, something like a wafer stuck into it, but it's furniture. Okay, it's a pretty interesting interpretation there. This one looks pretty good. I would not necessarily call it a lychee chair, but I would definitely, it looks like a spherical chair. Maybe it is inspired by lychee. I definitely like the background. It looks like it's in a room and not in a showroom. Okay, this is kind of looking like the inside of lychee, and I have the nut here, so I think it's definitely trying to figure out how to put the different pieces of the fruit together. I think this would work. I'm not sure what this would be, but work with it. Okay, this is definitely more along the lines. This is very interesting. Here's the lychee, I guess lychee decorations or pictures. I would say this is a spherical chair. I would go for this. This is actually quite nice. And I like the background, the tropical wallpaper. Okay, this looks pretty good. I think this one's the best of the bunch here. For sure. Next up is Dancer's Desire. And this is basically a Tongan dancer. And I can tell you this much, both equally gorgeous. So I'm looking forward to, and it's what her attire resembles a whirlwind of marble and porcelain fragments. My goodness, I am stunned already. So let's go ahead and take a look at these individually. Oh, this is beautiful. And I love the swirls here. This looks like something that would be in an absolutely stunning snow globe. They have these incredible snow globes. I love the details of her hand, her chair. I love the details of her hands and her dress and the flow of it. And it does look like pieces of porcelain are coming up. And it's just one of those amazing photos that people take when it's really, really cold outside and they throw water up and it all of a sudden becomes ice or falling ice. It's stunning, gorgeous, intricate, and unmistakably just delicate while being tough at the same time. Now let's take a look at what Midjourney did. Okay, this is ribbons. And I love her dress. It's very flowy. She looks like she's definitely in flow. She is in movement. And these are more like ribbons. Not necessarily porcelain, but they could be. I still think this is an absolutely stunning picture. It's not exactly what, not exactly the prompt, but it is still a beautiful render. Now let's take a look at what Ideogram and Leonardo have to say about this prompt. Wow, let's take a look at this one. I love they look like little paper doves around here. That does not look porcelain or even marble or glass-like. But I love the flowy features around her. I love how her dress moves. Even though it's a still picture, it looks like it's moving and she's dancing and twirling around. This is a woman in motion, and I think this is captured beautifully here. This one, I love it because even though I think this is an anomaly right here, you can see that she is the focus and everything else around her is blurred. Kind of like a bokeh effect. I love her dress. And it's just very airy and flowing and active, and I love the motion and like this, I guess the speediness. I'm not quite sure the photographic term, but the speediness of what she's doing right here. This is a stunning render. I think Leonardo did a great job here. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Ideogram tackles this prompt. Oh my. Okay, this one looks like an illustration of a dancer, but yes, still beautiful. It looks like, yeah, like a very just like an abstract interpretation of a dancer in a painting. It looks beautiful. Oh, this one looks stunning. Of course, this is an anomaly right here. But she's in action, and it looks kind of Alvin Ailey-ish, if I'm being honest. I love it. Oh, this one, yeah. Face has definitely got an anomaly here. And look at that. You know, if we play around with this in the editor, we can definitely make this look more porcelain-like. Or marble and porcelain fragments. So we can definitely play around with this, but I love that she's moving and just, it's a beautiful pose. Let me take a look at this a little bit more. Yeah, like I said, the facial anomaly is not a problem to fix, but and the feet to an extent, but I think it would be just a beautiful pose. Just fix the rest. This right here, yes. Oh, on point. She's dancing. I love the pose. The scattering of these fragments, yes. All sorts of yes on this one. So again, these pictures, we would definitely have to work with them, but it would be a fantastic rendering. I consider this one a definite success for Ideogram. They look really good. Last but not least, a hermit crab. Cute animals. And of course, I used to see them a lot when I went on the beach. Getting a close-up photograph of a hermit crab with sea foam. Now, obviously, this one right here, Dall-E, just did what it was supposed to do. Looking at it, I gotta say, I love the eyes. The eyes are so cute. I don't remember if their eyes were this distinct, but it looks like just the cuteness of it is just insane. The sea foam is definitely, I mean, look at the intricate, look at the detail of the bubbles. Oh my goodness. Look at the details of these bubbles and the foam. It is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the detail. This is perfect rendering, I think, of a hermit crab. Details of the shell, but I can't get over just how delicate, translucent, and perfect these bubbles look. Okay, now let's take a look at Midjourney. Again, I love the eyes. I can't help but think of SpongeBob. I know. But anyway, not quite Mr. Crab. But this is still beautiful. I love the, it doesn't have the sea foam, which, points off of that, but still a beautiful render. Now, when you take a look at the details, like these hairs right here, that crabs have and everything, and the intricacy of the claws, and what looks like, I think, either ice or salt crystals in there. It's still a very detailed and beautiful picture. It just doesn't adhere to what the prompt asked it to, and I'm kind of used to that, so I'm not going to say anything negative about it. I think both images are absolutely amazing. The eyes, I won't lie, the eyes are just Mr. Crab. That's all I got. But okay, so now let's see if Dall-E and Midjourney came up with the same interpretation. Okay, I like them. They're both cute and adorable, so let's take a look at this one. I'm not sure if that's like a blue pearl on the back, but it looks pretty good. The salt crystals. It has a sandy look and feel to it, but it still looks like looks like a doll, basically. Looks like a cartoon or a doll figure on the sand there. This one looks cool. I like the blue shell, and I don't know if that's a mound of sand or something behind it, but it does look like, again, it still looks a bit doll-like. I don't necessarily think that the horror crabs have like that kind of legs, but I could be wrong. But the crystals are very detailed. The sand is very detailed. It looks very pointillistic, and I like that aspect of the photo. But it's okay. Let's see what Ideogram has to say. Wow. I'm loving this. Okay, the eyes, they look cartoon-like. This, even though it looks very photographic, but it still has a very refined cartoony feel to it. I don't know how to describe it other than that. But this one looks pretty. The eyes just, they get me. I'm like laughing so hard. Yep, this one looks like a really good, again, no sea foam in this one. I am seeing, you know, the sandy texture on the ground. So it definitely fools that, but I'm not seeing any sea foam in this one. This one is just hanging out on the grass. Okay, it's pretty cool. I don't know if it's supposed to have this many legs. An anomaly possibly, but still looks really good. This one is also very good. I love the blue tentacles, and I think they're only supposed to be 2, but it could be more. I'm not sure. But I like this image. The eyes look a little bit more realistic, in my opinion. I haven't seen a hermit crab in a while, but they look a little more realistic. This one, sure, I love the lines in the sand. It is gorgeous. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, like I said, I like the texture of the sand. It looks very salty, or at least very sandy. And I think this one did a much better job than Leonardo in that particular rendering. I think it's an absolutely stunning generation here, ideogram. Okay, so to sum it up, it's, when doing these comparisons, you're tempted to kind of see which one's better, which one's worse. I think of it as which one that you can work with and which one you don't really think you can work with. I like to work with Leonardo. I'm not fond of, having to put anything in Discord and doing my stuff, and I'm just not fond of that. I like Leonardo. There are times when Leonardo does not work well in certain things, and then, I have to go to maybe Ideogram, or in this case, if I can get into Dall-E 3, I can do that. But it's basically how work with platform, if the platform works towards your needs, and which one is best for you. It's not really, a comparison of which one's better. Everybody has their working, has what they like to work with and everything. So just pick the one that's best for you and your needs. So based on that, I hope everybody everybody enjoyed the pictures, the renderings. I like doing this, so I'll definitely try and do some more interpretations when I can, or some more comparisons when I can. So thanks again for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.